A lot of folks use us on a regular basis. Some just check in with us once or twice a year, but I just want to make sure everyone's aware of what is available to you as a 2020 member, and then show you how you can make the most of it. We've got a ton of resources. We love to talk. We can connect you with many people around the country. So let's do what we can to make sure that you make the most of your membership and use the resources, use us, and really make the practice fly. If you do have any questions, put those into the question section on the go-to control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those as we go through. So if there's any questions that you do have, just type those in, and we'll answer them along the way. So let's get going. Here's what we're going to be talking about today. A little bit of housekeeping to start with. Today's webinar is non-CPE-able because it is instructional on how to take advantage of our resources. So unfortunately we are non-CPE-able, but we'll probably only take 30 minutes, 40 minutes depending on the questions that do come through. Just want to make sure as well that everyone can see my screen there, which should be okay now. So let's just keep going through. What I do want to encourage you to do is get on with the 2020 webinars. While this isn't CPE-able, we've got a whole host of webinars coming into January, so the calendar will be filling up. So do check back often, and they will all be CPE-able. And for 2020 premium members, that CPE is free or a part of your membership, the web-based CPE. That's all a part of membership. So make sure you make the most of it. Get your team on board. And also all the webinars are typically recorded, so they'll be available via our YouTube channel after the webinar. But unfortunately, we're still waiting on our self-directed CPE learning. So the recorded webinars are not available for CPE, but the live webinars certainly are, and we'll keep you posted with our pursuit of the CPE for self-directed learning. I'd also like to bring your attention to, we do have a few more seminars left in the season, so please get along to those. I know we've got some two-day programs coming up. We've got marketing courses, we've got technology courses, so jump on the website and check that out. And also make sure you jump on and check out taxseasonbootcamp.com. Based on the success of last year, we've got live events and web-based events, so that we'd love to see you online. Get your team involved so that we can make the coming tax season the best one yet, but the full agenda and cities and dates are all available on taxseasonbootcamp.com. So let's keep going. What I'd like us first to do is focus on the resources that are available to you as a premium member. Currently, they're available via iShade, and I will be the first to admit that this hasn't been as seamless as we had hoped, and we are in the process of changing that at the moment. But in the meantime, I want to make sure you can get onto iShade because there's a ton of letters, checklists, slideshows, sample agendas, engagement letters. The list goes on, and we're constantly adding to that. So what I will do is I'll spend a couple of minutes where we'll just duck out of the slideshow presentation and go over to the internet so that we can just have a look at where to find everything. So first and foremost, we come to 2020groupusa.com, and I'm just going to take 1 second here just to make sure the audience view is coming along. A little bit blurry, but doesn't look too bad, so we'll keep going. So 2020groupusa.com, we come to the sign-in section. Now, mine's automatically populated here. However, if you've forgotten your iShade username and password, you can click here to reset those and get those reset and the email sent to you. If they do not arrive, please send me an email so that I can get in touch with iShade to get that sorted out for you, because I certainly don't want the login issue being something that's not going to, a login issue being something that restricts you. So we use our iShade username, iShade password to click sign in, and then as I said, click here if you've forgotten your iShade username and password, and obviously our contact details are there if you do have any problems with this stage. So once we're there, we click sign in, and the good thing is it takes us straight to the 2020 group groups. So assuming that you're a member of the 20, which we have set you up as, you will be then taken directly to the 2020 group via our portal on our website. So that takes us straight to the 2020 group. If you're not a member of this group, there's typically a join button in this section here, and all we have to do is just click on join and we'll be off to the races. But here's our group, and I'd just like to point out a couple of sections on this group. Keep your eyes out for different announcements. 57 ways to grow your business, for example. Any discussion topics that have come up. We haven't really seen our discussion topics take off, and I see more discussion topics via our LinkedIn group, and we'll see probably a shift towards that this year. But if you do have any questions, we're constantly checking these, so make sure you check the announcements and jump into the discussion topics. If you do have a question, the question could be about a vendor, question could be about a marketing idea. Any questions that you do have, please just post those into the section. What I do want to bring your attention to, however, is this resources section down here on the right-hand side, about a third of the way down the screen, and this is where there's a ton of different resources available. So we can see some of the latest resources that we've added there, but more importantly, let's click on View All, and what we have here is a whole host of different resources. We've got our tax return fee worksheet, our sample 1040 engagement letter, partner meeting agenda, business plan review checklist. So you can see that there's a ton of different resources available to you. So what I'd encourage you to do is get somebody in the team just to come along, become familiar with what's available here. You can scroll through the various different resources, client termination letters, practice continuation agreement, a top resource there, particularly for sole practitioners or for firms that are looking to grow through acquisition. The practice continuation agreement is a great thing to take out to potential acquisition targets. So a ton of different resources here. So just scroll through, find out what you need, and as you can see, they're all Word documents, so they're easily modified, download so that we can update them, make them your own. What our goal is to get 80 to 90% of the work done so that your personality comes through on the 10 to 15%. The other aspect of that is please always shoot us an email, schedule a time. If you have gone in and modified any of the resources and you'd like another set of eyes to have a look at them, please send us an email, schedule a time. We'd love to spend 20 minutes with you talking about any of the resources that you're using, how to best use them, how you might personalize them, and how you might customize them. So as you can see, there's a ton of different resources available here. So please come into that section on the 2020 group. So if we just go back, and I'll just slow it down just to make sure that it's coming through on the GoToMeeting. Once we arrive in this group, which is where we'll come to from the 2020 website, we then come down to this latest resources and view all resources. I'd also like to bring your attention to going to the premium section where we can come in, and again we click on the resources tab, we come down here, we view all. Hopefully you would have seen or you would have listened to the most recent audio series, Lessons from Out Front with Ed Menlowitz, not Less from Out Front, but Lessons from Out Front, and he talks about his 30-30 training method. So for example, this is where you'd find a lot of those resources that are referred to in the audio series. So again, we come back to that 2020 group, USA Premium, on the right-hand side, and again, we've got announcements, discussion topics, so we've got a little bit more active here. But if you do have any questions about any of the resources, feel free to enter them here about audit protection, merger and acquisition, or alternatively, we come over to the resources, the 30-30 training method, and then we can download that PDF that's referred to. So that's definitely one that everybody should take advantage of following this webinar, is the resource that Ed Menlowitz mentions in his that 2020 audio series, and it looks like I'll have to go in there and edit a couple of points. But we've also got another few resources here: the tax return fee quoting system, the short form tax organizer, the various engagement letters that we have available, the new business kit, and this is a must-have for everybody. It's a wonderful marketing resource, and all the resources are there available, and we can help you with that initial customization. Of course, the Accountant's Direct Marketing Kit, other very popular resources. We've done the hard work and we've written 150 plus marketing pieces. So what we encourage you to do is come onto iShade, download the letters that you're looking for, personalize them to an extent, and then get them out to your clients. So there's no excuse for not having a direct mail or some sort of email communication heading out to your clients on a regular basis. So what I might encourage people to do is, if you've got any questions about iShade, ask those now, because we'll be going back to the slideshow presentation very shortly. But iShade does have a host of other resources, discussion forums, and I would encourage you to get in, but more importantly, just make sure you know where you can find the various 2020 resources. I think that's really critical. So once we sign in from our from 2020 Group USA, we'll go to the this first group, and then we can go over to the second group, which is the premium resources. So make sure you can get there, jump in, send me an email, and I'll walk you through any of the just getting onto iShade if we do have difficulties. So it doesn't look like any questions have come through, so we will make our way back to the presentation here. What I'd like to show you now is a couple of those. I briefly mentioned the new business kit and the 57 ways. So these are turnkey marketing resources that are available to premium members. And what I wanted to show you is just a couple of different examples of what we've done for 2020 members as a part of the customization and setup. So we can see 57 ways to grow your business here. Kevin Moser, we put his name, information on the left-hand side. So that's basically the cover of the book, if you could imagine it. Front cover, back cover, and then on the inside of that is the 57 ways to grow your business. So for that customization and setup fee of $195 for premium members, we can get that up and running for you very, very quickly. And the feedback has been incredibly positive of those members that are actively using it. A lot of folks have gotten this out to their clients, to their prospective clients, to their referral sources. And here's just a couple of different examples of what we've been able to do. So Stan down in Palm Desert, California, front cover still exactly the same as the previous example. But what they did here, which I thought was very clever, is they put the artwork of one of their clients on the back cover. Nice blurb about the firm and about Stan, the author, and the feedback again from Stan and Patty at Stan Morose's office in Palm Desert has been incredibly positive. So we've got a lot of flexibility here in terms of how we can customize it and make it your own. For example, here's another version. Here is the new business kit, what we did for Burns & Johnson in California. And on the right-hand side, we've got the front cover, and on the back side, we've got on the left-hand side, we've got the back cover of what is the new business kit. So they wanted to change it ever so slightly, change the layout, change the title, and you'll see in our next slide here, we've got the Successful Business Kit. So these are the two books that they have available. Successful Business Kit, Great Ideas to Grow Your Business. This is essentially the 57 Ways to Grow Your Business. And then this is their accompanying book, the Startup Business Kit. So you can see the two of these books sitting in reception, very powerful as a free giveaway, great freebie or call to action in any direct mail, in any email marketing. On the website, they've got enter your email address, and if you'd like a free copy of the Startup Business Kit, or if you'd like a copy of the Successful Business Kit. So two great resources, and for $195 each, we get that set up for you. Customize it as much as you want. So we've been changing the fonts, we've been changing the colors. You can see that we've been changing the images based on what the members want. So please take advantage of that, and we can turn that around and get those books in your hot little hands within about 10 days. So the $195 includes the setup, and then you purchase the books on an as-needed basis through CreateSpace. And that Startup Business Kit, that comes published for about $2.70 per book. So you buy as many or as few as you want, and you just come online to createspace.com and order those as you need them. So $1.95 gets everything set up, and then you come on and order the books as you need them. But again, the feedback has been incredibly positive about the 57 ways to grow your business and the new business kit. So let's just go back and have a look at a few different examples that we've got, so we can customize those as much as possible, really make them your own. The only caveat of these books is you can't sell them online, because you can probably imagine if there were 20 different 57 ways to grow your business, might lose a little bit of credibility in the eyes of your clients, but we can certainly get these published books in your clients' hot little hands. So jump online and have a look at how we can do that easily and quickly. So these are just examples of the turnkey resources available to you, so make sure you do jump on, give us a call, send us an email to find out more information about them. If this is something that you would want to do, this is a perfect time for them given the year end, as folks are starting to think about taxes, starting to think about their accounting. So I'm just going to check in to see if there's any questions. Does not look like it at the moment, so we will keep on moving. And if anyone has implemented the book so far, and if you just want to provide any feedback, that would be greatly appreciated if we can share it with the audience as well. But until then, we will keep on moving. What I'd also like members to make sure they take advantage of is what we call the annual performance review. The annual performance review is a mini strategic planning session. Our goal is within 60 to 90 minutes to come up with 4 clear action items. These could be related to marketing, could be related to strategy, could be related, or overall strategy, could be related to people development, could be related to technology. But what we do is we start with the questionnaire, and the questionnaire covers all areas from strategy, management, marketing, people, budgeting, and from that we can typically identify 4 areas that we really want to focus on. And some folks, we just spend 60 to 90 minutes talking about marketing. Others, we talk about technology and efficiency. For one firm, we spent about 90 minutes talking about a people development plan and how we could implement a performance-based remuneration, what we could do to attract more people, how we could better recruit people. So that seemed to be, through the questionnaire, we really figured out the hot button, or a big issue, was the people aspect. So we spent 90 minutes talking about how to be better recruiters, how to maintain our people better, and how we can provide one of those workplace environments that is one of those that's a great place to work, that offers work-life balance, that has great technology, and people really enjoy coming to work at. So we start with a questionnaire, but from that questionnaire we typically hone in on 2 or 3 key issues, and then, as I said, the goal is to identify 1, 2, 3 or 4 action items that we can really focus in on the next 3 months to get some traction. So anytime you want to do that, shoot us an email. We'll send you the link for the questionnaire, and the questionnaire is available on the website so that you can go in, get started on that. It doesn't have to be exact, but let's just get some information into the questionnaire so that we can have a starting point for our discussion. So the annual performance review, and then any time throughout the year that you want to revisit that, you can send us an email, give us a phone call. We'll set up a time to talk about any of those 4 action items. We want to make sure that you use us as much as possible, and if they're what we like to call 30-minute consultations, if we can answer the question in 30 minutes, then that's a part of the membership. If you want something which is more structured, more coaching, more continual engagement, then we can discuss that. But if you have a quick question that you want to ask related to our strategic planning session or our annual performance review, then give us a call, schedule a time, and we'll jump on the phone to talk you through it. Most of our members, or the ones that I think get the best return on their membership, are the ones that check in with us, use us on a regular basis for 20, 30 minutes, once a month or once a quarter. Those people seem to keep things moving. We look at items on our strategic plan and chunkify them, so to speak. And so this quarter we focus on technology, the next quarter we focus on marketing, and strangely enough we see improvement in profitability, improvement in morale, improvement in communication with those regular touches. So make sure you use this on a regular basis. But this performance review is a great starting point, and those members that have been doing these on a regular basis, we've actually seen some nice improvement in the firm's performance. So even just 90 minutes a year has really helped a lot of firms focus on what's important. It's nice also that someone from outside the firm can offer another point of view, can act as a sounding board. So that's what we want to do, and we have seen dramatic improvement in firms with just this 90-minute session. Obviously they touch in with us, but it's really nice that within 90 minutes we can focus their attention. For some of the sole practitioners, they've mentioned that it's nice because they often don't have somebody to talk about these strategic issues with. And then for the larger firms, 2, 3, 4 partner firms, it's been nice because it's been that third party to offer an outsider's view. And again, it's just a really valuable process, so make sure you take advantage of it and get started with that questionnaire. And I'll shoot the link out to everybody following the webinar so that they can get started on that, because I think coming into tax season, dare I say it, we've just gotten past October 15, but this might be a really nice time to say, okay, what do we need to get in place to make next tax season much better? I've got a question that has come through, or actually no, it looks like a hand is raised. Jim, it looks like you've got your hand raised there, so what I'd encourage you to do is in the question box, type the question, or in the chat box, send that over to us so that we can get that answered. Just in the question section there. So type that in and we will get that answered for you. Oh, looks like it's come through there. The performance review is done with you and Chris. The performance reviews are done with myself. I do those with you one-on-one, and typically what happens if there's issues that I can't answer, and that does happen, I won't suggest that I know everything, but they're done with myself, and anything that I can't answer, particularly buy-sell merge type issues, partner agreement issues, what I'll typically do then is tee up a 30-minute conversation with you and Chris to answer those really high-level questions. So I get the first pass at the annual performance review, and if there are areas where I think I fall short, I then tee up a session with yourselves and Chris to talk that through. And if we can answer those, they're typically those 30-minute questions. We get those as a part of the membership. So yes, so I do the first pass, Jim, and then if there's things that I can't answer or we need further clarification, I get Chris involved and get you guys set up with a time. So I hope that answers that question there. So that's the annual performance review. Take advantage of it, and we'll see what we can do to keep your firm moving in the right direction. Let's look at what's next. There we go. This is what I think is really important, and we just call it ad hoc advice or 30-minute consulting. All we want to do, and if you know Chris or myself, you'll know that we do love to talk. So if you do have any pressing issues, there might be a vendor that you're considering. There might be a staffing issue that you just want an outside person's opinion on. All we have to do there is shoot us an email. We do have a calendaring tool, so you can go online and see our available time. Schedule that time for us so you see our calendars, and let's talk. We do a lot of different things from, Damien, I'm thinking about hiring a marketing person. What type of person should I be looking for? How might I go about hiring that person? Damien, I want to try this as a marketing initiative. Do you know anybody that's done it before? Damien, how do I put on a seminar? I really want to do it, but have no idea where to start. Damien, we're going into I had this one the other day. I've been paying Thomson $14,000 a year for their hosted environment, and I'm just wondering if there are any cheaper alternatives out there. So we just jumped on the phone for 20 minutes just to talk about different possibilities, some of the different providers, and gave them some contact names for various vendors that are out there that might be able to do a better job or offer a more competitive rate than that $14,000 a year, because I nearly fell off my chair when he told me how much he was paying for Thompson's hosted product. So the good thing is that we typically have heard of a lot of situations, and if we cannot answer that question, we'll definitely be able to put you in touch with another member that can, or alternatively another consultant or a provider out there. So schedule a time, you create the agenda, just give us a heads up on what you want to talk about. But it was interesting talking about with Robert up in Oregon as we started the conversation, and he said, "Oh my goodness, Damien, I didn't even know that we were able to do that with today's technology." So it's nice. And then he said at the end of that conversation, it's sometimes I can't see the forest for the trees because we're so busy doing the day-to-day work that I have no idea what the latest technology is, where the firms are headed, and I thought I was ahead of the curve with where we were from a cloud-based standpoint. So we love to talk. Schedule a time, you create the agenda, and then let's talk. And if it's something that we can answer within 30 minutes, that's a part of the membership. If, as a result of that conversation, we start talking about getting involved in recruiting your marketing person, if we get involved in structuring your partnership agreement or scheduling or planning your partner retreat, then that's obviously going to be a separate engagement which we'll bring to your attention. But let's get you moving in the right direction for that 30 minutes. And more often than not, we find that 30 minutes is just enough to keep you going. So make sure you take advantage of that. We are traveling a fair bit, but we're obviously with cell phones, with our hosted environment, we're always connected. So if you don't hear back from us immediately, just give us a day or two, because we're probably in some strange time zone or on a plane somewhere. But we'll always get back to you, and we do love to talk, as you can probably tell. If you want feedback in that 30 minutes or however long it takes, we do a lot of this, actually. It's quite interesting when we get firms that say, "Damien, can you just have a look at our website? Have a look at our LinkedIn profile, at our personal profile or our firm profile. Give us some feedback on some marketing letters. I'm putting this recruitment ad in the paper. Could you have a look at it before I post it?" And a couple of folks have really liked that, because what happens, particularly from a website, or this example is perfect from the website, is we get a little groupthink happening in the firm. There might be 5 or 6 people working on the website, and everyone's really happy with it, and they think they're doing some really good things and presenting a really great website. But then when somebody outside comes in and has a look, one of the first things I'll often say is, "Where's the phone number?" And more often than not, it's 3 or 4 clicks away, and I say, "Guys, come on, let's just make sure it's easy for somebody to contact you." Alternatively, a lot of folks, and this is the same with the website and marketing letters, will often spend a lot of time talking about how great we are, whereas what we know as marketers is your clients don't particularly, or your prospective clients don't particularly care how great you are. They want to know how your services can help them, how your services can solve problems. And it's nice that there's somebody can have a look at your website, have a look at your marketing letters, and give you some feedback before we do spend a lot of money. Schedule some time with us, and we can give you our feedback. Doesn't mean that you have to take our feedback, but we can provide you some insight from other examples, other firms that we've worked with, and often we can just tweak a couple of areas of some marketing copy of the website to get a better response, get better search engine optimization. One of the first things that we do is when we do look at a marketing letter that is new to us, we'll just go through and count the number of us, we, my, I, and compare that to the number of yous, yours. And that's just one trick that we've learned from a marketing perspective, is we've always got to be writing in the client's perspective. So that's something that we do. If you do want feedback on your website, on a recruitment ad, a marketing letter, some firms still do use yellow pages. The surprise? Maybe not, because their clientele and their targeted clientele is an older crowd. So they still do use yellow pages. So we have provided feedback on yellow pages ads. It's surprising in this day and age, but we want to talk about that. We want to make sure we look at that marketing budget and say, where are we getting the biggest bang for our buck? And that's where this feedback service is sometimes very helpful. Again, just another person's perspective based on all of our experience of working with hundreds of firms around the country and around the world. So again, just schedule some time, shoot us whatever you want us to have a look at, give us a couple of days to get on there and have a look, and then hopefully we can come back with 4 or 5 ideas to improve, to test, to see how we go. So the recruitment ads, marketing letters, whatever it is you'd like us to give feedback on, we'll be able to do that. Another thing that is really beneficial as being part of the membership is these, we're here to help. And when we can't help specifically, we'll be able to connect you with somebody who can. And we're seeing a growing level of interaction between our members. Oh, hang on. We're seeing a growing a level of interaction between our members, both here in the US. So if it's an out-of-state tax issue, we're also seeing growing interaction as our members' clients become more international, foreign tax issues. So we probably get 2 or 3 calls a week from either US members looking for help in China, South America, Mexico, Canada, or we'll get requests or emails from clients, from members outside of the US, so some of our 2020 Asia Pacific members, 2020 UK members that are needing help on US tax issues. And it's quite interesting because, for example, the Australian tax code is significantly leaner, so to speak, than the US tax code. And a lot of Australian CPAs have no idea what's involved in filing a US tax return, which they do have to do for some of their clients who have businesses cross borders. So we were able to connect a lot of foreign accountants with US-based accountants, and we typically give them 1 or 2 email addresses and contact details, and then you guys take it from there. But if you've got an out-of-state tax issue, a foreign tax issue, might be a high-level tax expertise that you're requiring. We, even in our own CPA firm, we get a lot of calls from clients and prospective clients saying, can you help us on a 1031 or 1031 exchange, not 1030 exchange, but a 1031 exchange. And you know what? We're a small tax firm, so we can't necessarily help with that. But I can connect them with 3 or 4 different firms around the country that will be able to help them, that have a high level of expertise on 1031 exchanges, might be a particular R&D credit. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're able to service our clients' needs. And rather than say, no, we can't help you with that, we can say to our clients, you know what? We don't do that specifically, but we're part of a larger organization, a membership group, and I'm sure we've got that expertise within the group. So leave it with me, and let's see if we can find an expert that will be able to help you. And I can tell you what, your clients will be absolutely delighted that you're able to help them, that they don't have to go somewhere else. And if it's your recommendation, for example, on a 1031 exchange, hey, let me introduce you to the guys at Wiebe, Hinton Hamberleck down in Fresno. They're experts at this. You still control that relationship, and there is no way that Wiebe, Hinton Hamberleck is going to be coming after that client. So you maintain that client relationship, but you're able to tap in to the expertise of the group. So make sure you do tap into us. Shoot us an email to say we've got an out-of-state tax issue. California, for example, is very complex. State of Ohio is very complex. So use us, and we can connect you with members around the country that will be able to help in a particular issue. The other area there is where I think we do a lot of help is vendor questions. So if you're looking at cloud providers, if you're looking at tax softwares, call us and we can connect you with a similar sized firm using that product. So for example, our own CPA firm, we use Cloud9 Realtime as our host, but we have a number of members that use Eccentric. We've got a couple of members using InSync, Right Networks. We can connect you with those guys so you can ask other members, similar size firms, similar issues, what their experience was like. So that's been a nice one, that we've been able to connect you with a similar size firm. Some of our firms have tremendous success with outsourcing. It's taken them 4, 5, 6 years to get there, but now that they're doing it, they're enjoying their most efficient, most profitable years yet. So we can connect you with those folks, and they can, while I can stand up in a seminar room or here in a webinar and tell you how great outsourcing is and how to deal with client interactions and client pushback, I'd much prefer to connect you with the guys down in Torrance, California, who send 800-900 tax returns to ExpertTax, and you can learn from their experience. You can learn from Patricia how she handled client feedback, how she handled internal staff feedback, what were the lessons she learnt, so that we don't have to make those mistakes again. I think that's a real benefit of the membership group. Let's learn from everyone's mistakes. So before you do go down a path, hit us up. Let us see if we can connect you with someone, so that you might be able to find out what were the lessons they learned before we go and make those same mistakes. So that's something that we're used to. So if you do have any questions about outsourcing, going to the cloud, any of the various vendors, we use Xero.com, for example, for some of our clients. So before you go down the path, hit us up, and we might be able to share our experience with you, or, as I said, connect you with one of the firms around the country that are using a particular provider, so that you can get their experience and learn from them. So moving on, and we will get wrapped up before the hour, so probably just another 5 to 10 minutes or so. What I wanted to give you a sneak peek into is what's coming soon. One of those is a new website. As I said, our relationship with iShade didn't work out as we planned. There were some changes of ownership over there, and I think their vision and our vision was slightly different. So we're changing our website, where we will all our resources will just be on our website. We'll have integrated forums with LinkedIn. As I said, the LinkedIn forum will just become that one main section, and we're also looking at so we can just log into the website using our LinkedIn profile. So our goal is to, rather than creating more and more usernames and passwords, let's look at what we already have, and if we can log in with LinkedIn, access the LinkedIn forums, access the resources, that'll make our lives a hell of a lot easier. As I mentioned, we are waiting on approval from NASBA for self-directed CPE, so hopefully in the new year, that 2020 audio series that comes out will be available for self-directed CPE. So that'll be a huge benefit, that we can come online. You'll be able to come online, listen to the audio series, answer some questions, and then get that CPE certificate. So that'll make sure that we listen to those audio series CDs come out. So they haven't been as regular this year, just because we're trying to get that CPE certification. And once we have that, I think we'll be really rocking and rolling, and you guys will get a ton of CPE coming out of 2020. We'll also next year be really focusing on one-on-one coaching and national focus groups. So we do have a lot of focus groups around the country, and so we want to roll those out where we get like-minded firms, like-minded professionals in the same room twice a year. And we actually see a couple of the results from some of those groups that have been going for 2 and 3 and 4 years, and the level of profitability, the adoption of change is quite dramatic. And we look at some firms where partners were barely, it would have been better for them to go and work as managers in other firms. We're seeing their net income dramatically increase. We're seeing the profitability, the efficiency dramatically increase. And I think one of the reasons for that is the 9 or 10 other firms sitting in the room hold your feet to the fire. So that's one way in which we're going to help you really implement change and dramatically drive the firm. And if you do participate in any of other groups like that, you'll know the benefit of it. So we'll get more of those happening next year. And we're also rolling out one-on-one coaching. So a lot of folks have said, Damien, I just really want assistance over the next 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months to get our technology up to date, to get our internal systems ready. So let's just focus on that, and let's get together on a monthly basis to work on it. So that'll be being rolled out, and it'll be one-on-one coaching based on what you need. We don't want to follow a cookie-cutter type approach that here's what you need to go through. So keep an eye out for that. And also our affinity agreements. We're finally at a size where other groups are starting to take notice of us, so we can get discounts on a number of different providers. So I know Office Tools Professional has a nice discount for 2020 premium members. Cloud9 Realtime does as well. Western CPE, we're just finalizing that, so that'll take care of a lot of the technical CPE that you do require. So they've got some great self-directed and some great live events that will that 2020 members will be able to participate in a discount as a result of their 2020 membership. So I think some exciting things coming, but as always, let's just get together what our next steps are. So start using the resources, please. Tap into us. Let's get together a year-end marketing plan for the upcoming tax season. There's some great tax planning marketing resources available. There's some great new client resources available so that we can get a direct mail campaign. We don't need an elaborate campaign. Typically 3 or 4 different initiatives we can get running. If it's social media, let's spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes to say, okay, how are we going to get social media up and running this for tax season? Because we are seeing those firms that are increasing their web footprint via social media platforms are starting to get more and more phone calls from prospective clients, because people are going to Google to search for tax preparation services, business advisory services. So we're seeing those firms build out that web presence as being successful. Register for the tax season boot camp and the various webinars that we've got available. They're all here to help you grow and all here to share experiences from other firms around the country, other firms around the world. So tap into the webinar series, get along to the seminars. If that 57 ways to grow your business, as I said, we can get that turned around in about 10 days, and we can develop a great little marketing plan around that to go out to bring in 2, 3, 4 new clients. I think we can do that by the year end, or certainly bring them on for the new year. So that's a nice, inexpensive, very professional looking marketing plan that we can put into play. Jump into iShade. As I said, if you're having issues with the login, shoot me an email and let's get that sorted out as quickly as possible. So it might take us a couple of hours. We may have to interact with iShade to get it sorted out. But if you cannot remember your name, if that email doesn't arrive, shoot me an email straight away so that we can get that reset for you and you can get into iShade and get into the resources. Once you've done a few of those items, schedule a time with us to talk priorities. There's only a certain amount of hours in the day, so there's only a certain number of things that we can do. So if you do have any questions, where are we going to get the biggest bang for our buck? Let's bounce some ideas off each other. Schedule a time and call us, or we'll schedule a time and we'll call you. So whatever you need, please just let us know. Shoot me an email. Give us a call. Ina's in the office. Christine's in the office doing everything they can to help. And then if they can't help immediately, then I'll check in with you. For example, I've got the seminar in Miami tomorrow, so I might be a little bit delayed in getting back to you, but we will do our best to get back to you promptly and keep you moving in the right direction. So give us a call, and which I guess is the final slide of today's webinar. If you do have any questions, please put those into the question box or just shoot me an email as well. But there's my contact details, Damien at 2020groupusa.com. 800-788-0190 is the phone, and follow us on Twitter as well, because we've got, or join us on LinkedIn, connect with us on LinkedIn, join the LinkedIn group, because we're always sharing great ideas, great articles out there, and you know what, I'm not going to be offended if you only click on one or two of the links or articles that we recommend, but we're always scouring the universe to find different ideas, innovative ideas that we can always be thinking about. So follow us on Twitter, join us on LinkedIn, shoot me an email, maybe read 1 or 2 of our newsletters every now and then, jump on a webinar, and let us know what we can do to help your firm. So it doesn't look like there's any questions that have come through, which is good, I hope. So I will sign off here and say thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Look forward to helping however we can, and hope you have a wonderful fall. and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much, folks. Have a great afternoon.